Welcome to my place and welcome to 101 Sewing. We have been through all aspects of cutting out, laying out, making, constructing. I have in front of me the top bit and I have the lining, and the reason I'm showing you this is because it had all the little ins and outs that you might ever need to know about putting things together. There's no sleeves, there's no zip. It's an easy project for those of you who just basically want to sit down and work out how it all goes. So we've done the interfacing, which is this bit here. We've pressed all of the seams, and I just need to go back a little bit and just say to you, remember when we were cutting out and I said you had to be very precise? The reason I was going on about that is because of this, just exactly this bit here. This is the facing of what is going to be my cape, and you can see that when I was cutting this out, I didn't cut it out properly. Now any little areas that you have that are like that, you just trim those up right now and get rid of them, because when it comes to joining them together, this can be absolutely off-putting. So just get rid of those out of the road so that we've got nice straight seams to be working with, so you don't have to be second guessing yourself, because I think that sometimes that's the problem when you second guess yourself and you think, oh, how did that go? And you know, if you got to this stage, you need to get the thing done and you need to move on. Okay, so right, what we're about to do now is we're going to put the lining into the top bit of the fabric. Now, little wee tip, this is what I do here. Right, you need to find your exact centre back. So I know that that is my back. You can tell that that's my back edge or my neck edge. This is what I do. I bring, and of course everything's all been neatly pressed. What you do is you bring those two seams together and then you go to the middle, and then what I do is I just get a pencil or something and I just do a little mark there. If you didn't want to do that, because depending on the fabric that you're using, what you could do is just put a pin into there. Now it's quite vital that you get your centre backs all matching up. So that's that one, and then let's do the same on this. So there, bringing those together exactly the same as what we've just done, and I'll just put a little pencil mark there, but I'm also going to put a pin in there as well. Right, the manufacturer or pattern designer will tell you exactly what to do. All I'm doing is showing you. Now it's right sides to start. So there's my right side, there's my right side, there is my centre back, there is my centre back, and it's just a matter of bringing those two together and matching those up absolutely in that space, in that centre back. Now the other thing that when you're doing things like this whole lining is going to be completely sewn around, but you have to factor in how are you going to get that all in through, turn it in or bag it out so that it is on the right side. What I've done here is I've left just a little bit of an opening big enough to take the whole thing through when I'm finished. So we're going to pin it there, then we are going to go across to there. Now, the reason I told you earlier on to do that stay stitching there is because I've got a solid fabric that doesn't move versus a top fabric that does move. So by doing that little stay stitching around there, which you can't see but I can, so I've just taken, like, it's within that seam allowance, and of course every seam allowance I'm using for my construction has been about 1 centimetre. So put that pin there and then come across to here, and then because everything's all been neatly pressed out, I'm going to pin that to there and that to there, and make sure that those seams are all down. And the reason that you do this, and to just make it really easy for when you're sewing, what is a really big nuisance is if that gets put, like, is doubled up into there, it just means that that seam at the top, especially around your shoulder and neck, is going to be really bulky. So now the other thing is, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of pinning to just actually slowly ease this stretchy piece of fabric into this solid bit. And you'll also see that I've put facing in there. That's to keep everything all neat and tidy so that it doesn't get all baggy and gapey and sits neatly, just like this is sitting around my neck. See, that has been done exactly the same process so that this sits neatly around my neck. And because all of my seams have been pressed, I don't have big bulky bits there. And I know it must seem like I'm going on and on and on, but these are the things that will make your garment, when you have finished, absolutely neat. Right, from there, the next thing to do is, I actually haven't decided that I want my cape when it's finished, not to fold back, but to be fold back or to be able to come across and be pinned up here. So that there's already been included, that little loopy bit there. So when you come to get those together, there were markings there and markings there. See that there and that there. On the top, I've got a marking there and a marking there. So just make sure that they are all neat and tidy and even. And then because I've got another stretch, the other thing that you can do is to sort of just go into that middle bit there and then put a pin in, and then a pin on that side and another pin on that side. Now I go across to there, then you're going to go all the way down here with your right sides. And the great thing about this pattern is that this bit of lining, this front bit, has got this bit, the top coat or the top portion of the pattern is all the same. And then what I've done here is, because I wanted this portion to flop out, that is what I've changed the pattern so that is my facing there. Now, these seams here have to match, these seams here have to match as well. Now, you can see when I said it has to hang for a week, or even, well, I like to leave mine for a week. The reason I like to do that is, now see what's happened here. Now, I know that this was cut absolutely pristine, perfectly when I did it. But because it has been hanging, look what's happened now. See how I've got it? See this bit here to that bit there? That I'm going to have to cut off, but don't do that until you have pinned all the way around, because you might find that on the other side when we get there, it may also be out that much. Once it's all pinned, then you can alter your hem length there. So I'll leave you with that now. I'll pin it all up, and when I come back, we'll just make sure that that side and the other side are ready to go, and then it's just a matter of zipping around with the sewing machine, pulling it out, doing where the little arm bits go, and hey presto, there is good sewing. So I'll see you back very soon.